Fuck, man. Oh, man, shit.
Epistle. I was raised reaching for my issue. Mode of survival. Epistle. Letter to Nip. Letter to East Market. Letter to the hustle that I ran through. Letter to them wins on the menu. Letter to the 20 years I had to do. Letter to the routes that's raised in you. Letter to collaborating with a better view. Letter to growing God like vegetables. Letter to no more locking up the youth. Letter to the age writing epistles through bars. Letter to a community of broken wings that heal wrong. Letter to the weak, curing the strong. Epistle. I was raised reaching for my issue. Epistle. I was raised reaching for my issue. Epistle. Letter to a mud decorated pool pit. Letter to sucking soul out of the people with prisons. Letter to black Jesus in a blue bandana. Letter to collect calls from Alabama. Letter to black panels shining light like candles. Letter to love patiently pursuing freedom. Letter to keeping the fire burning till he freed him. Letter to them nights when I was starving, top rhyming in my prayers. Letter to horrors locking in the hours of creation. Letter to time as I awaken. Epistle. Epistle. I was raised reaching for my issue. Epistle. I was raised reaching for my issue. Epistle. I was raised reaching for my issue. Epistle. Word.
Word.
Welcome, fam. Y'all on Facebook. Thank y'all for showing up with us. Another working on rhetorical designs. We got some good brothers in the space as always. We trying to just come every week, resurrect the vibration, right? Have some brothers come through, share our voice, share the platform, share the experience. I say.
Sure.
So really, we ciphering out. Whoever's feeling it, it's on you. Spitters, where the spitters at?
I'm gonna go live.
If we bashful, I can go and just blaze the handle. You ain't tell me when to go, tell me when to hold back. No. Top from the dome, tippity top toe. Hot like noodles, out rhyming in the bowl. I'm rhyming off the dome. We be rhyming in the zone. Cypher 209. Stocked in a pity tone. Follow the beat in your soul. I shouldn't have to tell you when to go. Let loose and let nobody hold you back. No control. Let's go.
Yeah, I've been putting in that work, got perfect attendance. Over time on my business, cause sky is the limit. Every second and every minute. Notice my focus is winning. We got you boys timid. Yeah, boy, be running. I be on my image. Smith and Wesson gets a kicking for testing. I'm effective and efficient, extra persistent. My reflection is realness in every percentage. Check the statistics. It's just how I'm feeling. Net worth gonna be a couple million. That's just how I'm building. I get out my feelings and get into a bag. We gonna win on my behalf if you do the math. Multiplication, simple addition. No subtraction in my mention. I just need the pension. Functioning addicts. The new addition. When revenue in my vision, that's an easy decision. You feel me?
For sure. Word.
Damn. That Emmett Smith line, bro, that was awesome.
Fake Don got his smoke. Bodies afloat in the moat. Man, you can quote the last Don 3, Reservoir Dogs, Godfather mixed together with Bella, Mafia clever. Slide, watch the niggas who despise your rhyme. Stay high, blow, crust, and feel throughout the whole ordeal. Never switch or get jiggy with like Will Smith and Wesson to teach niggas lessons. Progression is none. You're naked in your birthday suit. Shit ain't bringing in no loot. Just a gang of flaws like a Ken doll. No dick and balls. I haul niggas ass off on a stretcher. Cause your ass is lesser, lighter than helium. I leave stretch fractures on your cranium. Shabaka's worth more than platinum, twice more than gold. So fold and weak flows up like a food time. Bucci Bonton, blood clot, never pot smoking. Just that shit that be growing, overflowing to the degrees of scalding MCs, biting, clashing like that monster. Fake ass, why the imposters get thrown in the ditch and left for dead. No oxygen to the brain. David Blaine and yeah. Y'all still can't see me.
Word. Now we see you good. You right there.
All right, cool. I can't see y'all.
It's already good. Consider us in the abyss. Never miss. Get a glimpse. I'ma keep it popping like Nestle Lipton tea. You see me with the crystal glass, lightning, recycling, because I'm good for the environment. I'm trying to inspire kin and get higher and higher then. Climbing like mountains. Ain't no mountain higher than. Stopping with climbing. The mayor was just at the event yesterday. Words and more for the videography. I see Key in the chat. What's up, K-Stone? Shout out to the bro who turned nearly 50 years old. Rigger Remote, who all in the cipher? Let's get it. What's going on, T Stu?
What it do? What it do? What it do? I'm just trying to get up in the rhythm. You know what I mean?
You know
what I'm saying?
This that community double Dutch. You just gotta.
Yeah, I know it. What I say? What is it? My mama was a blood, Suwu. My dad was a crib, cut rib, but together their love was a battleship. The times that they faced was hard as concrete, but they planted a seed to make their life compete. However, my dad had a cheat to get me. It ended up in a police backseat. Boom. My mama had me at 15. Don't get me wrong, she a black queen, but we live around crack fiends. And when they said good morning, we didn't know what that means. As time ticks. My grandma just got hit in the face with a shovel. They say pray to God, but all I see is the devil. So I'm a rebel on another level. Hello, I'm a bad guy. They say misery love company, then I'm gonna run your ass dry. Tell about 10 lies and smile when you analyze it. When you despise, that's when my nature rise. Fuck the world.
Word.
Oh no, nigga, you concrete jungle. I have no choice to be a beast. So you better be alert when the hyenas run the tree. Because we running in packs, making lions say good grief, just like some mad cow. You don't want no beef. I'm getting kind of hungry, ate some rancho pig, did it just like a horse cut off his wig. While I'm out here hustling, trying to get elephant big. Too exquisite to get hit. I'm quicker than a cheetah with this 50 count desert eagle under my wife beater. Cause you niggas is chicken just like the inside of a fajita. I ransack your shack just like an anteater. Ain't nothing complete. I'm out here humping like a rabbit. I swear I'm an alley cat hanging out on North Abbott. With a Georgetown Hoya habit. Treat you like a stingray and stab it. Animal style, I'll let you have it.
Okay. Animal style. Let him have it. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's listen to the laugh of a wick, not a Gerber baby. Watch him suck the dope out of mama and watch him go crazy. Say we work to get all A's and just maybe let daddy touch you daily. It's okay, he ailing. Matthew, Mark, Luke, they all Johns. It's illegal to sell your Tom. Too many Jerry's where I'm from. Homicidal cops is the norm. She swallowed 30 Viking and regretting she was born. Love is foreign. Pussy not selling like it used to. Taxes are incredible on perishables, these tools and fuels. She chews up on losers, move up the poverty level. The devil being covered by the pastor, you bastard. Feeding on my need for insight like a parasite. I need to breathe, it's a fight for my life. Niggas and kites, spics and chinks, smiling and fucking after drinks. You think too much, jigaboo, nigga who, all of you. Now it's popular slang, they gang bang, risking that chain gang for change. The owl I smoke, the horse I go, my dog neutered and muzzled. He can't bark what's in his heart. Dim the lights up the dark and we'll get sparked.
Dim the lights after dark and we'll get
Real talk.
started. Okay. Okay. For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. Hey, hey, hey. If I got to go again, then it's nothing. I go, I flow, I know. The cipher is a circle. 360 or 380 or 160 degrees. It's like breeze in the trees. Hey, flowing in, no changing like the leaves. Walking through community. Hey, are you was gonna go, Evan? I was just trying to warm up the mic for you.
Sure. Can you play a beat though? Can you play the beat? Yeah.
Shout out to Shabak on the beat.
Nah, man, we got to get it together.
Yeah,
We got to get
I
it where
can't
we
hear
can
it,
pump the
Anthony.
beat through the system where everybody can hear it good. Then it's a little better. Then I'm gonna work on it. I got the laptop. I just didn't have time to do it this time. We'll
Oh,
figure it out. I need to tap into
I
the
can kind of hear it.
website through my computer instead of my phone.
okay.
It's
Well, the
still
platform, I
my
mean, the
phone.
platform, it allows certain beats and whatnot, but we might have to just go a cappella, fella.
Yeah, for sure. I can kind of hear it if you just keep playing it. I can kind of hear it.
Oh, he wants
Where
some of
my
that raw,
headphones, man?
one of them raw raspy beats, Shabbat.
All right, hold up. I'm trying to find something that won't be so rumbling on the damn.
So what's the word? What's in the script? What's new? What's new in the community? What's going on in each other's lives in the struggle? What's the gumbo? What's the community gumbo? Anybody got a word? An event? What's the new happenings?
Oh man, we dealing with the homeless invasion down here in LA, bro. It's rough. Them niggas everywhere. And I understand, but man, it's like you like say for instance something doing due to COVID, a lot of businesses been going out of business, so it'd be an empty property there. And anywhere where there's an empty property, they starting to set up. So it'll be a corner gas station that's no longer there. The whole entire gas station will be filled with tents. And I'm not talking like small camping tents. I'm talking like big tents. Like man, it's crazy,
Yeah.
man. It's on a whole nother level down here.
Yeah, no, we seeing that. I mean, just throughout California, right? Like there's over, I think statistically over 12,000. Check. Can somebody
What's that?
check that background noise?
Okay.
Get
Yeah,
intrusive.
wow, man.
Uh, really, even in Stockton, this homeless population has ballooned and bubbled, right? But I think the solution isn't a blame and shame, but like how do we invite folks in? If it's a space that's not being used as a recreational space, I'm for it, man. People take back their take the space, right? If someone's not using a dilapidated building and they can find shelter there, it's like that's the common sense type thing to me. Like go and like get up in that thing.
Yeah, man, they erected whole entire communities where they got like dressers and shit on the street, like
Mhm.
beds, couches, like everything that's inside a home would be right on the sidewalk, inside the tent and outside. And bicycles, cars, like all kind of dogs, all kind of shit, man. It's on a whole nother level. And then the LA the city has decided to they say, okay, we can't fight it. Let's just assist it in a way to where we can keep down the COVID. So now they got porter potties everywhere where they've erected a homeless community. Now the city is bringing porter potties so they won't just be shitting on the streets and just being like real nasty. It's crazy, man. It's way different. And
All
it's
right, so it looked like we got a topic, right? So we gonna invite the vibration to have the homeless or the unsheltered as a topic for the cipher for anybody that want to go or add a spiel to that. I think that'd be a cool challenge, right? Right. So we
that's
so we can kind of just change the energy, change the vibrate, and also understand that even with the public lens, or it may be something that you may want to share insight where folks will bring a public notice. But I think I would add this thing right here. I think we got to look at similarly situated cities. Like, man, we all in the same boat, right? So if we got some of our
yeah,
folks
man.
that unfortunately can't get shelter or can't get housing, I mean, I'm trying to galvanize the folks where we see that as like not a them problem, but a we problem, to where all our
Oh,
folks
definitely, it's definitely a we problem.
should
It's
be like a
definitely a we
basic right. So you feel me? The fight for the housing, that's a
Yeah.
basic
problem.
right. I kind of feel that.
You got the beat
Yeah.
up?
You got to beat Shabbat. I think Evan want to
Hold
gas as well.
on.
Yeet. Round 2 kickoff. Let's get it.
My bad, y'all.
No, you good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Might have to acapella. It might be a little strange, fright. What's going on with the fellas? I thought it was a cipher. Ain't no standing around. Why am I not hearing the sound coming from the compound? Right? How do we get down? I just go like an energizer bunny in my flow, patrol. Oh, okay. I thought I'd get some type of reaction, Jackson.
Right.
You feel me? Okay.
Yo. Okay. I hear it. All right.
Wow.
Yo.
Yeah.
No stage fright, just hip hop. I think this is the window beat from Erica. You know what it is, man. Life, we gotta cherish it. Unsheltered people in the population living in squalor. How do we allow this in America, the land? All they care about the almighty dollar. I don't give a fuck about that. No, every person's story is told. You know, the dream that gave birth to the warrior soul. The place where the warriors play. We can. Every block is a crop. Freedom. Every child freestyling and feeling their greatness. You know what it is, man. The Erica Badu looking through the window, looking at the unsheltered, but not caring. That's really a mother, a father. That's really a brother, a sister. It's really people trying to run some errands, trying to get some food, trying to get some shelter, just trying to live. Yo, we have to give people telling their own story, owning their own businesses, no longer purgatory. Yo, that's my dream of the work, economic collective advancement network. That's we can, free land. You know what it is, man. We stand. I don't give a fuck about what they say. We can. It's all inside us. It's been inside us all along. You know what it is, man. That's what I call a song. Yo, freedom of the voice, freedom of the spirit. I know you hear it. It's all in the lyrics for the unsheltered, but for us too. You know what it is. It's you got to trust you, like James Baldwin said, inner authority. You know what it is, man. I got the gorgeous free thoughts in my brain. You know what it is, man. I just got to maintain.
Word.
yeah, yeah.
That's
For
right.
sure, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Way of acknowledging pain, but I'm acknowledging pleasure. Say I'm ducking and I'm diving because it's rainy in the weather, but the fire is ignited and it's all inside the mind. See the passion get beaten when the mind get blind. Say my eyes do times and they both apply by 3. And now the mud, the fours is the foundation that be. It's the cost that it's seen. It's the cost of the being. It's the hell of the light. It's the fist in the fight. It's the move when it pound when them cereals sound. It's the sound of the ground when the coffee move now. It's like the move of the stomach when it bubble. It's like the smooth move of your heart when it's double the trouble. It's like making a lot of pistols but not having no bullets. It's like having a lot of guns, not the sense to pull it, or like the triggers to use it. And so the things we get left with is down on the concrete, disrespected. It's the gross level of being. It's like having a man like you out on hands and knees and making you squat and cough and disrespect me, but you can't even say goodbye on the street. You can't even say hi when somebody look in your eyes. You like flex up because you got your pistol, you ready to crest, bruh. As soon as the man gets in the hole and he pocket let you go and you down and you close, keep you all away from home. Now that's
that
Damn.
Okay. It seemed
That
like
was
the
fire,
cipher,
bro.
the freestyle started. Okay, that's what I'm
That was
saying.
fire.
It took a minute. It took a minute. Yeah. I love that beat. That beat right
Man,
there.
yeah, that big
That's
go.
nice.
That's some inspiration.
Yeah.
What's it doing?
Well, I guess we're gonna stick on a homeless tip. You know what? It's sometimes it seems sick, but it's sick. The system that has kept them oppressed. You know what? We're trying to do our best and not stress. We don't smoke stress. We smoke the best every day, all day, running this track like relays because if we stay, if all kinds of people out here on the porch. You know what? We trying to get going short, getting long-winded. You know what? Being extended, being lifted and gifted. You know what? Ain't nobody need to be in no prison. Nobody need to be on no floor. We got more houses, more steps in the White House door. Man, they didn't ran up in there, but you should have let some homeless people stay up in there because that world don't care. It ain't even fair, man. People out here with nowhere to live, out here with a COVID pandemic out there who can steer, still clear out the way. You know what? We gonna beat the pavement back in blue, make it come outside. We ain't got no curfew, so we ain't got no place to go. You know what we do got? We got a whole lot of soul. We glow in the dark. You know what? I ain't afraid of no sharks, and I don't hang with no marks. But you know what? These remarks that I say, it's what I do every day on the DNA. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
For sure.
That was
Hey,
awesome.
word.
For sure. It's a holistic plan and it's simple. Pick the beat. The solution's in the temple, but we can't outthink the problem. Open up all the dilapidated buildings and give them back to the people. There should be no recreational spaces that's not free. If you're not using the building, give it up to the homeless for housing. Period.
Yep.
Stop all the talking and jaw jousting. Because the real solutions is in the street, where the people at. Now that's more than meet the eye. And that don't fit in no grant sometimes. But it should be funded. If we not no pundit, let's not be redundant and do the same thing that we found out 10 years ago didn't work. How we promoting that and patting ourselves on the back. What is that? That ain't no worth. That ain't no work. Everybody, housing should be a right. Housing first. It's a continuum of care. So why everybody out there, it seems like solutions is more closer to where the people is at. Somewhere, give my people shelter. Give my people shelter.
Shit. Let me see what else they got on here.
My people shelter.
That was hard right there. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Nice, yeah. They got some cool stuff.
Taking back the buildings. That was nice.
You feel me? Well, God, I mean, like
Yeah, bro.
let's start there. I mean, some of these buildings been empty in Stockton over 5 years.
Oh, we got longer than that.
Cobwebs and dust mites. I think human beings
30.
deserve to be in these spaces more so than just like the cobwebs and the dust mites. And it's like, what is folks doing? Trying to raise their property level so they can sell it at a high, low type collective bargain. And it's like, man, you got human beings, right, having to live on the hillside of freeways because they're being pushed out of spaces. And it's like trying to tell folks in these communities, like, wake up after they push them out of so many spaces, right? Because the city looks like it looks like an eyesore here, an eyesore there. What you'll find is they'll have to house more in proximity to your spaces, to your neighborhoods, to your right. So then you're gonna have what they call the bottom eating the bottom, right? So then state apparatus, collective government agencies and whatnot is going to come in and collect all the bloodshed and the pieces, right? Because like I said, they're trying to marginalize us too when we start getting the conflict amongst ourselves and with each other. So I think we need to understand and recognize, like you say, we can't look at it as like, oh, us against them type situation. It's like, nah, man, like housing should be a right for everybody, right? If we're so technologically advanced, if we're, so this and that as a nation, we always want to patriotize and big up that.
Snacks.
Yeah,
Wow.
housing should be a right, man. That's simple.
Hey, you know what? You know what neighboring cities do to us down here in LA, bro? They you already know that majority of the homeless population is has like mental illnesses. So they're sometimes they're in hospitals. And what they do is when they're discharged, instead of taking them to their city, they drive them to Los Angeles and let them out in Hollywood, downtown LA, and neighboring cities around those areas, right where the homeless population is the largest. So Orange County, Riverside, the Valley, they don't want them down there where they at, but they sure bring them over here to LA and like, hey, stay out there. And then it goes even farther to where like my
Damn. So
girl's a bus
they
driver.
remove them from the city.
They remove them from their cities, like the neighboring cities of LA, like Orange County, like I said, Riverside, those type of places. They bring their bums, and they're mentally ill because all bums ain't bums just because they doing bad. Some of them are bums because they have like illnesses mentally to where they can't live with nobody. It ain't because they just on hard times. You know what I'm saying? So what they do is they be in them hospitals, man, and they just like kick them out because they can't keep them in there. They haven't did a crime. They're just sick. So they send them out to the streets and they be right down here and they get stuck right down and just another person added to the population. It's thousands down there, bro.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
But we go.
I think we should remember the spiritual component to this atmosphere as well, at all times. And by that I
Right.
mean the ancients all across all the cultures, no matter which one you stepped into or stepped out of, amongst all the races, they all agreed on one thing: that there were spirits that traverse this world.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That inhabit things that you don't see with the physical eye. All of them agree on that, right? And these are people that at that
Right.
point in time in being, you know what I'm saying, the Comedians, you know what I'm saying, or Egyptians, as some may call them, the ancient Greeks, your Libyans, your Syrians, your all of them, your Chaldeans, they
Right,
all believe in the same motto. And these were at that time the 1% of the world that could actually read and write.
right. The
You know what I mean?
Zoroastrians, right?
The
The
Zoroastrians,
Pythagoras.
right? They could actually read and write, and at that point, it was like 1% that could read and write. And so, dealing with these people, they're making this blur in these worlds, and we thinking that all of this stuff, how we're seeing each other and able to interact, but not quite in real time. We thinking that this is some type of magic of technology. Nah, this always been available. The waves have always
Mm-hmm.
been, right? They just turning it from a thing that you could do just in the spiritual realm to a thing that you can do physically now, and opening up these ways. And the people that's most susceptible to it is getting hit with it.
Man.
Because stuff was super hard back in the days when I was growing up, but you didn't have a whole lot of mental illness the way you do now. You had a few, but now it's like they tapping
Mm-hmm.
into all these different types of drugs and all these different levels, and they opening
Facts.
up. And I've literally seen people like, okay, I understand that you have a mental illness and mental disease, but why are your eyes black? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are your eyeballs white, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with the whole madness? I done sold dope since I was a kid. I done seen people high. This some other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I done seen people get high off meth. I done seen people high off coke. I done seen people high off a lot of stuff, but they didn't do all that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
this a movie.
It's a whole nother movement, and
That's
it's
interesting. That's interesting. You lift that up. Cause like you say, like we do get caught up on just that material lens, which sometimes makes it easier, right, to kind of judge. So like I'm even appreciative of like man, hold on, like allowing that spiritual component to kind of tap in, and it's like, oh, okay, now spirits involved. Now it's like everyone is, or at least should be encouraged, like, oh, now I gotta look at this thing from a more like transformative lens, right? Because spirit allows me to recognize like, oh, a different empathy or a connection to the individual that's going through that influence, right? Because it's like really like under the influence. So
Mm.
I think that's kind of dope. So like
Yeah, that
uh, shout out to
is.
spirit.
It's a whole
Yeah.
conscious. It's like a culture. Anything that's a culture, it creates an energy of its own. So that's why you see in LA or up here in Sac and certain places in Stockton, you see them gathering into those areas, those dark areas of negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said the other week, man, hold on, the grass don't even grow over here. What's up with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But they got
man.
so toxic about this energy that all the life around it is starting to die. Like, what's really going on here? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like the movie, it's like the TV shows. It's like you see similarities with real life and the TV show. You like, okay, everybody is in a trance. He's walking dead. People is looking like the colors, like everybody earth tones. They all the colors is all they clothes are one color because
Mhm.
they all dirty. Like it's a trip, man. But back to add on to what you were saying about the homeless and the spirituality. We have had that throughout all history, even back in the days, but in those days, society was based on more towards helping each other. So if a person was mentally ill, most likely his family took care of him his whole life. Like he was never, it was a disgrace to the family to allow him to become homeless. Now it's kind of like each individual for themselves. You know, he's not related to me. I turn my back on him. Man doesn't have that same love towards each other like he used to have. The societies have changed since then.
Yeah,
And
and
I
I think
think
it's
that's
it's
because spirituality has been lost. Like man is all physical based now. Like we lost our touch with that part of ourself with the and then we had me and the brothers used to talk about this all the time, man. We used to be metal netted out, man. We used to be who side out, and we used to
the
always
mental.
talk about hey, how many times we build it on them, and how many brothers we should try to get to build with us, and oh, bro, I can't understand that, man. And I
Yeah,
was like,
we
it's
trying to
take
put
a
it
minute,
together.
brother. It take a
Yeah,
minute,
yeah. But I mean, it's no wonder, right? I mean, you just bring up the Medunetter, and the Medunetter is what? Divine speech, right? So
man.
it's no
Utterance.
wonder that this right here, word platform, working on rhetorical designs, it's like because really, I think the formula is simple, but because we haven't gravitated to it and we got all this conditioning going on, right? Man, it just starts changing better words and vibrations amongst each other. That's gonna be the first strongest thing, the bond that we got as a people on the ground to break through this, right? If they casting God spells and right, and we basically syncing in and allowing all this stuff to kind of possess us, and folks is going into trance, right? And we're seeing behavior and we're judging behavior because, like, hey, we don't want to deal with those influences. Or we don't really understand it. And it's like, man, like what was the influence behind that? Every generation has been a gravitation of word, right? How the word influenced. Like I tell folks, when you go back to really studying ancient Kemetic or ancient Egyptian, even the music is very interesting because they held the music for like very close to the society, and music was
Yeah.
not allowed to go out into civilization just for entertainment's sake. Like, let's be clear about that. I
Ah.
say that again. The music, right? And folks like, oh, the priesthood had it, and they was like, no, they understood the influential vibrations of music to such a degree that they said music for entertainment's sake alone was considered a sin. Period. So we have a society like
Yeah.
America where you could just make all type
Uh-huh.
of bubblegum music about anything, and that vibration just goes out, right? And so folks
Yeah.
like through generation to generation, we've exchanged words that basically have had us exchange like cultural competencies and put those things down and start going into trance for these different spells that they casting. And I think, like I say, the solution is like as simple as it is like it's gonna take enough of these platforms and folks really connecting to be like, oh man, word, man, go out and really try that, like experiment, they exchange nothing but good words
Remember that.
folks all day
Oh,
because that's the
shit.
vibration. You casting spell, you casting thoughts, you basically sinking into that synergy, right? Affirmation. Like it's a whole plethora of like how this stuff really connects. But When we understand that at a basic level, it's like, oh man, you can heal through words, right? You can heal like folks through
Mm-hmm.
words, and like some folks like you can bring back, and it's
And
like,
mm-hmm. No, keep it on. No,
like,
continue, bro. My bad.
no, go ahead. I was cool.
I was saying, and the opposing to that is that you can have negative effect through words too. And a perfect example of that is the difference between hip hop and like trash ass rap, bro. And you know that it's all out there when you see it. Like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I ain't nothing wrong with people getting their money and stuff, but Megan Thee Stallion trash, bro. And the reason why I say that is because of not how whack she is rapping, but her topic. Her topic is just straight bad for the young black girls. I don't like it. You know what I mean? It ain't the move. I like the I'm call me old school, but I think the black girls need the Ari Lennoxes and the hers and like Rhapsody and I think they need those
Shout out to
female
Rhapsody.
music artist influence. That like I'm saying all that to say that word that her words is be having like a negative influence I feel on the youth
Yeah.
because she talking about
No,
some straight
no.
ratchet, bro.
Yeah, there.
Yeah,
And
I
I've
agree.
and I've postulated that, and I'll say it again. Now, peep this. The example of Lauryn Hill's influence outside of the game, I think that has a lot to do with, like, say, when Lauryn Hill was like at her prime, when that Miseducation came out, that set a
Ooh,
standard,
classic.
not just for female MCs, but for most MCs, right? Now, however that transition to try to get to that second album, which allowed Lauryn Hill or had her considering like just backing away from the music, what I'm saying is the lack of her influence, right? Just imagine she had been just consistently making albums, right? And she's continually setting the tone. That vibration, that really standard, right? Where folks is because now you replace the standard, and it's like as much as one people like, oh, that's negative. We don't really that's the standard, right?
No,
Somehow the word has been replaced to influence that,
Hey,
right?
no,
done.
no,
Miseducation,
no.
right? And it's like how can we get back to that
You know
without,
what
like I said,
I'm saying?
invite folks to kind of get back
Classic.
into that component.
You got a
But
record
see,
player, man?
the thing
Yeah,
is
man.
that
I got records still, bro. I'm like older, so I'm
right,
still
right,
holding on to like physical music instead
You
of
feel me?
streamed music.
right. Understandable,
Nothing
understandable.
against it. I like it, but I got
Mm.
records too, bro.
One of the I want to say two things, especially like one about what the brother brought up about seeing on TV. If you want to know what way they're pushing the world, look at the television shows that came before. Like when I was inside, I wasn't into politics and none of that, but my study was like, oh man, you think they gonna make Barack the president, this and that. I said, yeah, he gonna be the president. What make you think he gonna be the president? I'm like, look, he gonna be the president. Why you think that? I say, look, man, for the past 4 5 years, just about every major TV show during that time period had a black president on the show.
Oh man.
They
Man,
had a black president.
24.
24, all of them shows had a black president on the show. And then after that, how many black presidents you got now? Then what you seeing coming up to this point in time was you seeing the black woman in position of power and next to the president and
Yeah,
doing presidential type thing. You
So you're
seeing
saying
that
it's
they
like predictive programming, basically.
it's a
facts.
grooming. Yeah, it's a grooming. You with the
Yeah.
zombie, with
They
the whole
groom
zombie
you.
thing. They preparing you for this is what this gonna be. The zombie stuff. Every time they prepare for what's
Everybody,
coming on down the line.
citizens armed,
No.
regular citizens armed. They groom you for
Right.
that too.
They've been grooming.
Yo,
Everybody
even
armed.
yo, even like
Everybody
the
armed.
even like the pre-crime movies, you know what I mean? Like what's it called with Tom Cruise when they can catch people's crimes before
Oh, that
they're
was
before
fire. Minority Report.
Right.
yeah.
So
But I feel
the
like that type of shit
right.
that's actually happening.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
like they're trying to do that now.
Right. I mean, don't
Okay,
we
okay.
going for the
That's close.
old this was out front, right? They put Megan out front. begging is a distraction. But I'm an activist up here in Stockton, like the brother activist over there in Stockton, and the young sisters. I ain't never met no young sisters. How a lot of these young sisters is on their stuff right now, and they out there pushing hard, and they with the movement. You know what I'm saying? They got their video
Yeah.
cameras. They with the full fledged movement. They doing their stuff. Like when they're my age, you couldn't get too many black girls. Not to they might be trying to go get a job somewhere, get some careers, but they wasn't with no
And
no
get their
active
car.
pushing no black anything. They wanted their perms. They wanted their weaves. They wanted all the white people stuff. And if you couldn't give it to them, then you wasn't relevant. But now it's like they getting
Right.
back to their roots. So you got more of that now. But in order to continue to control more of the masses, they got to continue to push the Cardi B's and the Meg Stallions out there, so that we missing the actual movement behind the scenes. But they on the move behind the scenes is going down. They still protesting every day. I get stuff all across the feed from, hey, we
Oh
pushing
yeah.
this, we pushing that, like never before in history. But that's not televised. They want to give
The
you the ad.
revolution will not be
Nah.
televised. You feel
Uh,
me? You heard the
they
brother
want,
say that, right?
yeah.
But we gonna slide back into the cipher one time. You got a beat for us about what you brewing up.
Hey,
All
Anthony,
we
Oh,
can I
can
okay.
can
do
I ask you guys a question before, real quick, first,
for sure.
on that topic, on that same topic? What do you guys think on that topic of like grooming people? What do you think about like violence in movies? Because one of the things that I notice is like there's a lot of it's like a comedy movie, but then it's super violent, and it just like it hits
Yeah.
me like weird. You know what I mean? Like it seems like
It
violence
seems
shouldn't
like
be.
I mean,
you
it's just,
you
just like
you
the
know.
brother was saying. In that sense, I mean, the revolution would not be televised, but it's just interesting how they got it situated to expect or to look for that vehicle or that medium to give us the revolution. People is trying to glean their revolution from like
Man.
watching CNN or like being like Fox
Yeah.
News advocates. And it's like, bro, like you gotta like listen, the revolution is what the brother was saying when you really read and watch the whole clip, because I think people have hijacked that paraphrase to put it in movement. They don't really understand what he was saying was like the revolution is between your with your mind. It's gonna be an internal dialogue that happens that gets people to transition their
Uh-huh.
thinking, that gets them to transition their behavior, that gets them to kind of make those more freedom processes type determinations in their lifestyle. That's what he meant by like the revolution will not be televised, but we still become so conditioned through that medium to expect it to come there. Yes, most people like where they get most of their thinking or their processes from. And like I said, they be like, oh, okay, I watched it, like, and they think the best thing they can do is see a different medium that they think hasn't been hijacked by like a corporate. I'll watch YouTube. Like you
Mhm.
come on at any time that they can, because they're controlling the lens. There's no freedom, like really independent type medium, no matter what they tell you, because they can't allow
Uh-huh.
you free reign to really put this stuff because they know the influence. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We
Yeah,
have to
that's super
basically
real, dude.
take over this shit by understanding, like on the ground level, we have the communication. The word is the most powerful weapon we have if we use
Man.
it right. The fact that we've continually or we haven't basically
Wow.
used it right to prepare ourselves to a degree to really break this shit up. That's really what it is. Working on rhetorical designs. What's your rhetorical trestle board? What you building by design? You can pray to the Lord, but me and mine we gonna find. And in the soil, dig deep for the purpose. I did 20 years. I built my faith like a mustard seed. And I came out. It was curtains. Huh? Get to working, black man. Get to working. So-called Aboriginal. I ball. Forget 12 and forget all courtroom stalls. Holding tanks. Smelling like piss. They never clean them. You slipping on the banana peel if you think the godson was going back. None. Finished parole in 2 years. Gave him that. Didn't even have to write a letter on my own behalf. I just text my PO like, bro, this time is done. Get me off your processes, or I go over your head like the one, shining like the sun. Huh? From the dome, here I come, here I come, here I come. You thought I wasn't gonna build a platform to raise the vibration? Huh? I adorn from heavenly vibrations, kinetic. Meduneder, that's God's spell. Hieroglyph, I can tell, but also the hieroglyph Started off from a student in the cell, huh? Through them dark corridors when I bail, huh? Always a book in my hand, my favorite weapon. Never burying no yards, never weapons. I came with the hands, buried the hands. And I build with the hands, no circumstance. And now I'm owning stuff, but it's not about me. Ego's in control because it's about building community. Having faith like a mustard seed. I will build community. Faith like a mustard seed. I will build community, having faith like a mustard seed. And when we bleed, do we need more than trees? Ha! And we growing and flowing, we growing and flowing, and we growing and flowing. Yeah. Run it down one time. Let's get back to it. Cipher up.
Having faith like a mustard seed.
Hey.
Seed. Having faith like a mustard seed. Seed. I got faith. I got faith.
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Go ahead, get on, y'all get on.
Face like a mustard
I was
seed.
feeling that beat. Yo, Anthony, that was crazy though. That
Oh,
freestyle,
yeah.
man. That was some next level stuff.
Yeah, that was.
I forgot one
He was
time.
on.
Crazy.
You know, the almond ramen
Facts
in my
right there.
pocket one time. You already know. Yeah, that beat was kind of going. It was I like that drum yank.
Yeah. What's the mustard seed reference?
Really just mostly like a reference. Faith just building it, allowing it to grow. And the biblical word is that if you but have faith in the mustard seed, you can move mountains. Like we have to live that. Right. So it's interesting, like people they read words, but like I tell folks, man, we live words. And like for me, that's why music has always been that medium. Like when you tell folks like mustard seed, you can move out. Like, what does that really mean? Most of us, we can find transitions like in our story, like, oh yeah, we have to kind of do that. We was accent for like 2 years, on lockdown for 2 years, Oklahoma. Right? You had to kind of understand like how we build out these different freedom processes. But now for me, I kind of just reference and use it in that.
Yeah. Yo, man, thank you for explaining.
Y'all making noise.
Hey,
And that's it right there. Okay.
let's
That's
go.
Bango. Right there. Popping up the court for a little bit. Popping like a court like a little bit.
Hey,
Hopping off the court with a little bit. Hopping off the
popping off the porch. Getting like a sport. I go dumb. I ain't no dork. Off the porch.
beat them up like bubble gum on the bee pie. They be going down, it's a cold time. Listen in the night, call the night train. Put up in the morning, catch an airplane. Moving in the flight, that's a gift, boy. Moving in the land, that's big for us. Thinking about the land when we move, though. Thinking about the prayer when I go, bro. Hustle, but dollars make follows out of you and me. If you ain't really leading, then you ain't really being. I'ma show you how to move in these streets. Say it's Capitol, not fools around. Big blame when we come around. Moving cities, moving town to town. They call them world builders going after skills, make fine. Me, I'm hunting down spirits at night. You looking for a bag, that's right. You collecting the faces and that's ass. You collecting souls and that's ass and that's us. And that's us. Yeah.
Yo, that was dope. Yo, Friday night, Feel the greatness in the cipher go. You know what? I think it's my time to go. Yeah, I gotta let my life glow. I gotta let my light glow. Yo, this country is too psycho. You know what it is? It's trying to take all of my blood like it's typo. Yo, I don't want a typo. I want to get the right flow. Yo, I just want to be myself and become. You know what it is, man. Going dumb. It's kind of a hyphy type of beat from the maybe East Bay, Funk Dunk, J.R. Ryder. Yo, no punk. You know what it is, man. I come with the soul funk. Yo.
Hey, get out of here, man. You let him get off my food, man. Hey. Yeah,
I like that right
there.
That had that.
Yeah,
They had
Run it back.
let's go.
That was going high. That was like some old school. That reminded me like some Keith or something.
It's a scripture in the Bible. The faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. And a mustard seed is extremely small. So just saying, just a little bit of faith, you know, and faith is about trust.
That's a dope analogy. Yeah,
You know
super
what I
good
mean?
metaphor.
Just a little bit of faith, man, or superb confidence in your ability. Whether you know that you've never seen it or not, that don't matter. Just stepping out and doing it, you know, and just going all in with it.
I
You know the
appreciate the
interesting thing,
teaching, man.
right?
That's dope.
One
My
can
bad.
also borrow from the cipher. I mean, like I say, because the cipher is also that 360 degrees of knowledge, right? Connecting the two, right? I'm gonna give y'all a little just a diaphragm. Connecting the intent, right? We talk about the intent in magic.
Mm-hmm.
So as the kitab says, be and it is, because the word that goes out is already perfectly connected with the intent to do. So in accordance with universal law, like a universal law is like I say, this process, right? If you understand it, you're able to tap into it in a way that should be exercising more benefits and advantages in your life, right? Because you tapped into the universal process. And I say all that to say, once your word is perfectly manifested, see, the ancients knew not to just mince word or misuse words. So when they were saying things, they were manifesting actions into being, right? And they were motivating uh masses of folks to really understand like how did they build the pyramids, like these wonders today, right? How did they build the Sphinx? How did they, and people are like, we, even with all the technology we have and these processes,
Damn,
we
what
need to
happened?
understand
Oh, my phone
fundamentally
died.
one of the first
My
things.
phone finally died. It was trying to die the whole time.
Nah, Shabbat, we still here. You still on? You still good. But he gonna eat. But no, like I say, once we start connecting our word with righteous intent, right? At least, especially what we consider this thing as purpose, right? The intent in which the creator has already put into the mathematics of the equation, which is our life process. Once you start connecting your word to those things, then righteous, positive things that start manifesting in your life, right? That's just how they go. And like I say, the whole thing is to really work on what your rhetorical design is going to be, how you're going to build up your life process. And like I say, that's the most simplest way I can kind of put it. Like I said, I can write diagrams and have other things, but that's what I'm here to kind of just be transparent and let folks know. That's how I built on my formula. That was my whole process. But folks are like, man, how do you get out? And like I say, in 2 years, you're able to do this. And you, man, that word is like connect to your word. That word is really important. Because these things, like I said, that I'm doing out here was things that I dreamt of while in prison, right? Connecting to my word, right? Holding that, like making sure that that thing was manifesting and working on it and making sure that my behavior aligned to it. And I was aligned to more divine universal processes, right? If you're aligned to divine processes, like how can your life path go? Like what like I say, no weapon formed against you will be able to prosper. You can't go against divine law.
Amen, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
it's all
sure.
about attention. Let me play attention. They say it's all about attention. all about attention.
Hey,
They say that the thoughts go where the mind flows, and if you really pay attention, you'll don't forget to mention you'll see it in the book, but you'll really won't listen. You'll hesitate often and see yourself coughing. You'll get mad at the COVID and think that it's a disease that's resting in your soul, but the disease is the peace. And if you seeing that the things that often seem to be, if you follow the attention, you'll see what I mean. It's all about attention.
Not to mention,
Right? It's all about attention.
not to mention.
All about attention. It's
yo,
all
man,
about
it's all
attention.
about intention. Uh, Raised in the world, just taught to be the henchman. But I know that I'm not meant to be on the bench. No, yo, I gotta hit him with the right flow. I feel like this time is a little bit too psycho. It's a plandemic or a pandemic, and I wonder. I sit back under the thunder. Maybe I need a six pack. No, I don't need that. But it might be an inside job. I don't know. Planned in a lab for the people to act like a mob. I don't know. It's kind of a crazy time. I know that it's real. I know so many people are dying and it's a tragedy. I'm not glad to see it, but I wonder, are they planning this shit? It's too perfect, stealing all the wealth from the people. It's like billions and billions and billions. It's stealth, it's evil. I feel it. I don't really understand how they can keep us all locked up with no plan, no health, no health system. They could have stopped it in the first month if they really invested in the people. If we really had a health system where we had rights and it was equal. This shit is too crazy these days. Just some
All
thoughts,
about
man.
attention.
It's all about intention.
It's all about attention.
It's all about intention.
Not to mention.
It's all about intention.
The comedics had intentions, and as a result, pyramids started to be builded. What's our intention in this generation? Is it to enslave men or lose patience? Is it to lose our brain watching the think tank or the stupid tool watching TV all day? Or is it Facebook looking or Instagramming? Or is it trying to get a Grammy by being down? And is it
Uh,
YouTubing or trying to test tubing? Is it you losing or test losing? How are we ballooning and not blowing up? How are we blowing up with balloons in the cup? How are we losing faith? Patience all day, where there's always a system waiting to lock us away. If it's all about intention, then produce your magic, start to empower. This is not tragic. This is just a habit. It happens to be you creating for yourself what you want to see. Now you can reverse engineer it and create who you want to be. Look into the
damn.
mirror and create who you want to see. Look a little deeper and create a clear vision connected to the people, connected to the divine plan. What's the universal trusted board that you're writing on? Or at least you need to ask yourself who's following and why you put yours on the floor. Working all day like you somebody's chore. That's a closed door. Like Edgar Allan Poe, Raven, evermore, evermore. Build more prisons, and this night corridor is like in the back alley of the Capitol. They locking up our folks to explore. You can't tell me that they're not doing most Tuskegee experiments. If you believe that, turn off your television because you're watching Channel Zero. I'm not trying to resurrect no heroes. They trying to pick presidents like any, mini, miny, Mizzo. Catch a liar by his tizzo. And I
Right.
kick in the dizzo and let the people know we won't go gently into the dark night. We're going to stop calling ourselves black when we start to think right, because it's all about our legal status in which we have none. And if you black in that courtroom, then you shot without the gun.
Bones.
Are you on your down a Gorns? Read the book, horse son. Flowing
Right.
from our loins. Lion roar, here we go. It's all about attention.
It's all about intention.
Kitty clack, it's all
Yeah.
about
It's all
attention.
about intention.
All about
When
intention.
faced with destruction, creators arise. When I give my intentions attention, there is no surprise.
Hmm.
When I add to the words with verbs, that means actions upon nouns, places, and things, and add them up the syllables and bring it all into change. I intermingle my thoughts with my passions and my passions with my struggles. I get far ahead and I do more than just bubble. I
Hmm.
tussle with the fact that you're trying to destroy me. So your simple and crumbling is an opportunity for me. I see paradise laid out before my eyes every time that I hear that you're falling from the sky because your piece of the pie was never inside the bakery. It was always issued out on the rock for the birds to see and relieve because it was a trap, you see. Yes, indeed. I know it fairly well because I recognize the builder, but I also recognize the spell. See, the magic could be oftentimes black is what you call it, but if you're coming out of darkness, then you're not coming from a place for an alcoholic. You're coming for a place where you're searching for the light and you've been through all the hard shit. You know, you're geared up for the fight and you're really kind of ready, but they don't often want you prepared. So just sit there and stop and be care and don't stare. Don't think about anything besides what I put in your player or silently whisper into your ear or flash before your eyes. Like, watch them hips while I'll tell you these lies. You're so caught up in the spies and lies in these tragedy games that you're searching for a bag and it's empty again. And you're filling it and filling it to what, my friend? And someone's getting their coffers and its power. So why bother? I'm not going to be blind with my intentions. So I'm going to let loose with these dimensions. If you continue, it's always dissension if you're trying to control my being. It's all
Hmm.
about my intentions, and my intentions aren't to be what I think that you should mean to me.
Word.
Word, man. That was fire, bro. That was fire, dude.
I like that for sure, for sure.
Cause they got them, they got it's about intentions. They have intentions too, man. You sit down and you study marketing and you study promoting and you study branding, man. They building designs and traps. They building, but the only thing about their building is that they're building a trap. They're not building something that's going to edify and fortify you, but edify and fortify their own cyclic system of trying to keep their position. And now you just
Yeah,
have people battling for positions. And if you're not deciding at this moment in history, if you're not deciding for yourself what your tomorrow is going to be, because all too often in the past, we've been given these assigned roles and think that, oh, okay, as this type of individual, I can play out this, or I can just work and get a job, or I can just be hustling on the streets. But you never take into the fact that, you know what, I could be the next global billionaire and I could build our own cities. We don't ever take that into to accord at all. But in the face of destruction, when the system is crumbling before your eyes, then it's not like, hold up, well, wait a minute. Now Walmart just ran out of toilet paper. Hold on. This is a reality check. All this shit can come to an end very quickly. It wouldn't take long for all this shit to break down. So it should have pushed us into a mind state to where, okay, well, hold on. Let me really evaluate resources. Let me really evaluate power. Let me really evaluate currency. What is going to be working if all this way?
for sure, for
And
sure.
if it doesn't go away, how are we going to rebuild in the face of this aftermath? Because there's something going on. There's a reason why all of a sudden we are running around with masks on when it's really convenient to have masks on. We have all this insurrection and revolting and people, all these movements all of a sudden popping up out of nowhere. They were always there, but here we have them now just popping out. Boom. Oh, here we go, the Proud Boys. Well, they never even heard of you. I mean, where the hell y'all come from all of a sudden? But
What
boom.
came out their leader was a massive government informant. So
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Hmm.
as they all are.
yeah,
As they all are. If you look at the leader of any criminal type of organization, he in the bed with the police. I don't care what nobody tell him, because you're not finna get away with anything in today's society unless you in the bed with it.
Man, that's what I tell my people. Like, man, don't even try to get away, man. Like, it's interesting, right? Because I've been really pushing around and considering this idea. It's been ciphering through. How do we get the vibration of the concrete level to such a degree. It was like, man, like reverse engineer this shit. Like Brady didn't like set up and be on the block. Set up yourself into associations and clubs, right? Position yourself to where now you can basically do and get paid for community beautification. You can get paid for building up, and then also understand like start owning, right, and investing in the community, right. But also we understand that our communities cannot become prosperous if they're going through seasons and sessions of violence. You can't make money in violence, right? So we have to basically get to a level where that becomes the vibration. And like I say, I continue to say it, like I say, even to build out this platform, even before we close out and give a final round to the cipher, it's like really just as much as folks stick with it and as much as we continue to bring through that word, understanding that positive word, understanding like how we can exchange the vibration and really kind of at least as a start begin to have better negotiations and communications amongst each other. So I think that's extremely most definitely important.
Definitely do.
But any last words before we close out and end the live session for this week?
Last word, last words. Last words is pay attention to your intentions. I
Right.
mean, inside it was a lot to manifest, and we moved even bigger mountains than we currently are because we had our intention was to program. We was definitely up against the battle, definitely up against the fight. Our intention and our attention went toward that. Every hour, every moment was about that. Um, Out here is a lot more distractions. You gotta deal with technology. You gotta deal with eating. You gotta deal with washing clothes. You gotta deal with shopping. You gotta deal with your wife, and you gotta deal with all this different type of stuff. Your lady, and so the intention for me personally isn't as refined as it was. You know what I mean? Uh, because there's so many a multitude of things that I have to pay attention to now. And so, in getting back more attentive to my actual state of being, I have to guide and direct even those things toward this general, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is what is going on. So, let's direct all of this, even those aspects, let's direct that toward these things. So, all of these things are in alignment. So, if I'm eating and I'm intending that I have to do uh political warfare, or I'm intending that I have to help my people, come up financially, then that's what my diet should consist of. You know what I'm saying? Should consist of and be uh, assist me in moving toward that goal with an intent. So meaning like when I'm eating so I can get energy, so I can go this. That's just the reason for the blessings of your food and all that. If I'm out here moving, if I'm calling my brother, it's with the intention to share some some words between each other that's going to be beneficial. They don't have to always be on the spiritual level, but it's going to be something
Yeah.
beneficial that we're always receiving between brother and sister and brother, and who, like the brother said, whoever you speaking with and interacting with, you're constantly building this new level or wave, because like, man, that's all you talk about. Yeah, because that's what we need to bring into reality. You should join that
Hmm.
and talking about that, because consistently talking about the energy that is the problem versus the energy that is solution, guess what, it gives a lot much more energy to the actual problem. So we gear toward these solutions. So I'm saying intention is a 10. Attention goes where your intentions lie, and put that toward that solution, not the
For
problem.
sure, for sure. Definitely. What about you? Evan, any last words for the people before we conclude the cipher?
Oh man, I just appreciate this space, man. I appreciate the revolutionary spirit, and it's great.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, y'all had it here. One more time, we brought y'all word, working on rhetorical designs. And like I said, for me, the word for this week is intent. For sure, be masterful in your intent. Understanding that it's a connected process. And one thing I love about the will and the intent, especially in regards to design, I think one of the things that we can be mindful of, and one of the things that I kind of attach myself to while in prison, we have to create in the same way a universal creation creates, right? So I'll leave you really with that. Like it's a certain process to where will intent brings about perfect manifestation without fear, without second guessing, without all your mind being kind of muddled and befuddled, right? And that's the word that I leave folks with this week. Like I say, will and intent, be masterful in that. So like just take a week to make sure that you set an intent and start observing and monitoring the intention that you set and just seeing what results, right? Just keep a log, keep a diary. You'll be surprised like, oh, we can empower our own manifestations, right? With the right focus, the right will, the right intent. That's why the Bible says when you pray, ask for a thing as if it has already been granted or given or been done. That's the key to that, right? Perfect will, perfect intent
Exactly.
matches that. There's no other way for you to kind of do that. Like it would make no sense, like other than that lens. But I'm not going to really pigeonhole the bullhorn. But
All right.
we're gonna definitely leave you with that. Tap my
Hotel
I
Mine.
say
It was a pleasure meeting you, brother Evan, man. Look forward to seeing y'all next time in the cipher, man. Love y'all, player.
cipher
Hotel.
continues. Y'all see the ticker.
Great.
Yeah. Y'all have a good one.
Did you record this,
Peace.
Anthony?
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you record this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.